What's funny about this list is I've heard less than a handful of these songs, and the ones I did hear were songs I've heard by accident, basically out in public settings, and you hear the songs, right? For instance, "Sicko Mode" by Travis Scott. I always hear that song in public. Very popular song, right? And my kids play the song too, also. Post Malone, Rockstar. Heard that song lots of times in public. I don't go out deliberately listening to that song on my free time. No, I don't. But yeah, I mean, this list obviously was fueled by white executives, and I'll get to the white executives' music survey and how they despise hip hop. I've talked about this before on past videos. How these Billboard music executives, they despise hip hop and they prop up these non-black artists to be, the creme de la creme of the music industry. I'll get to that later. But this particular list was designed by non-black people, and this is something that probably their kids, the music executives' children, made themselves. And of course they're gonna say they're going off by, um, you know, numbers, streaming numbers, songs that are being sold, songs circulated on the radio, terrestrial radio, and terrestrial radio, man, is dying. It's literally like Blockbuster, Blockbuster Video. You terrestrial radio, you just can't keep up with the times. Everything is about streaming now, you know, and I know there's still a few people that I know personally that are in the radio business, terrestrial radio business, but they know it's dying. It's a dying industry. Streaming service is where it's at. If I'm listening to music, I'm streaming it on Tidal or Dash Radio. I flip back and forth between those two. If I want to listen to something I've never heard before, I go on to Dash Radio, right? Dash Radio. Um, this app here, and I go into all these categories: Dash, Hip Hop X, Waves, Native Rhymes, Island Block, Beat Junkies, The City, Reggae King, all those stuff, 90s, old school stuff, jazz, classic, all that stuff I listen to on Dash Radio, you know. And I will always find a new artist I never heard before. Once I find the new artist, I get his name. I go into Tidal, look up if they got any songs on Tidal. Boom, I found a song. Boom, I found an album. Boom, I found other stuff. And that's how I, continue to find new music. It's by going through either a back and forth between Dash Radio and Tidal, right? But with this particular list here, right? And it's really not. It's not really. It's not solely based off race. It's part of the problem, right? Because I have a. There's a couple of albums I listen to that I consider album of the year category that are from non-black artists. For instance, Mac Ayres, Juice Box. A lot of people sleep on this guy. Very talented artist. Mac Ayres, dope album, dope artist. You know what I'm saying? And he is in that R&B. He has that R&B type of new age, old school vibe. I would consider him, right? But he would be particularly in the R&B section. But R&B as of today, we all know R&B is dead. Traditional R&B is dead. We know that, and the fact that they charted, and I've talked about this before. They started to chart R&B and hip hop together since 1999. Okay, there's a reason why they charted both genres together, even though those are two completely separate music genres. They charted R&B and hip hop together because they want to control what you're listening to, the music executives, and say, well, R&B and hip hop is exactly the same thing. We're going to put them together and chart them. And ever since 1999, they've done that. But going back to the albums, my favorite albums: Mac Ayres, Juice Box, The Alchemist, Yacht Rock 2, Both albums are, I consider, album of the year category. I also got albums like JPEG Mafia, All My Heroes Are Cornballs, another album of the year category. Rhapsody, Eve, another album of the year category. You know what I'm saying? I may have to do a separate video on what I consider album of the years, but just off the top of my head, I'm just freestyling. This wasn't even playing. I'm just going off. This is freestyle. I just named 3 albums that I consider album of the year category for this year: Juice Box, Mac Ayres, Yacht Rock 2, Alchemist, and JPEG Mafia. All My Heroes Are Cornballs. So I'll do a separate video regarding my top 10 album of the year categories. Well, I don't even know how much album. I'll think of something. Anyway, like I was saying earlier about the music executives, and I've referenced this article before. They did a music survey back in 2015, and this music executive survey, they weighed in on different industry questions like if you were starting a label today, which 3 artists from any label would you sign? And they picked, of course, Taylor Swift, number 1, Lady Gaga, number 2, Adele, number 3, right? Questions like, do you root for Taylor Swift? If you can engineer the comeback of one artist that was falling off from the charts in the last 10 years, who would it be? Mariah Carey, John Mayer. Is the music industry fair to artists? They admit that no. What genre of music do you despise the most? As you can see, number 1 is rap. Number 1 is rap. Stuff like, who is the most talented music executive in the music industry? Jimmy Iovine. Stuff like that. So that lets you know that these music executives, these all of these record labels and these streaming entities, they don't care about hip hop. They don't care about R&B. They don't push the real artists who push out authentic music that's not contrived, that's not cookie cutter. You know what I'm saying? They don't push that. They push out these artists. Macklemore. I've never heard that song before in my life. I don't even know what that song. Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. I've never heard that song before in my life. Bruno Mars. That's what I like. Robin Thicke, Blurred Lines. Listen, man. This list was like I said, this list was compiled by their kids, the music executives' kids. They compiled this list together. Bottom line. So I'm not surprised by this list at all. These are considered songs of the decade. This is what they want you to believe are the best songs of the decade according to Billboard. And with the thing about Billboard is I'm starting to see some artists like Beyonce and a couple of others are starting to really not care about Billboard. Billboard don't mean a goddamn thing, and I've always had a disdain for guys like DJ Khaled. I see right through DJ Khaled, man. I've never liked him as an artist. I consider him a culture vulture, and he is a guy that's very, very hell-bent on making sure his songs chart on the Billboard, hit lists and stuff like that, making sure he has quote-unquote hit songs. That's how he measures success. No, your songs are cookie cutter. They're too formulaic, right? They're too basic. And DJ Khaled, just an artist. I don't even know what the hell he does. I've never seen him DJ before. Well, actually, I have. I'll take that back. I have. I've seen him DJ before at Beyonce's and Jay-Z's concert, but I don't know what he does after that. Does he produce? All he does is say his ad-libs, DJ Khaled and another one. All he says is his ad-libs and that's it. So anyway, I'm just going off a stream of consciousness here. Anyway, leave your comments down below, family. Let me know what you guys think about the top R&B hip hop songs of the decade. All right, family. Till next time, GMOG Media. I'm on Instagram. Make sure you follow me, GMOG Media TV. Signing out. Peace.